Yo, what's up, boys? It's Betta-ah here with my day 13 update on how the Poison SrS Necromancer is currently doing. I do just foremost want to apologize for not having a update video out sooner due to really bad power cuts here in my country. It has set me back in advancing the build and upgrading and testing things and that, so I do apologize for the late update, but it is here now finally. And so far, I've updated quite a couple of pieces of the gear, and the build is performing really well. I even managed to take down Uber Eater Worlds for the very first time. I was able to do a Uber boss by myself without any help in that, and this build has done it for me, and it was really comfortable as well, aside from me being a noob, and that's during the fight. I also got my Animate Guardian to die because I wasn't managing him correctly, and that's because I was more so panicking during the fight. Oh, and then obviously the build has also taken down all of the invitations, even including the Feared, which was very comfortable. I was really surprised how comfortable it actually was. There was no issues there or with any of the other invitations, and that even Maven was really easy, aside from me dying once again because of me failing the memory game. But the build is super solid at the moment, and I'm very happy with it. Alright, so with that aside, I'll just quickly want to run over the things that I've changed with the build. So obviously, as you can see, we currently have got our Aegis Aurora on for the replenish energy shield each time you block, and as we've got 68% attack and spell block, almost 73% actually, we are able to recover a fair amount of energy shield. Even though our armor isn't exactly super high, it is still really good as we're blocking rather consistently, so it does give us a large amount of sustain. And then I'm now using a All's Uprising, whereby Grace has got no reservation, to fit in Grace for, once again, some more extra survivability. As you can see, we've got a 54% chance to evade attacks now, which is really great. And then, obviously, on the helm is the chance to suppress and +1 to level of all minion skills with a little bit of resistance and life. I also have the increased mana reservation efficiency skills implicit on it, with the physical taken as well, physical damage taken recouped as life. The reason why I've got the reservation over here is due to the fact that I unspec'd out of the mana mastery for the 12% mana reservation efficiency. So now the vitality can no longer be level 15. We can run it at maximum level 8 unless you've got some mana on your gear. But yeah, I unspec'd these nodes over here and decided to pick up Divine Shield, so we can recover some more energy shield, which is really well paired with the Aegis Aurora when we're taking physical damage. The physical damage that is prevented is regenerated as energy shield. So this in conjunction with our life regeneration, and that is really good sustain during harsh mapping or even bossing. But yeah, other than that, I just moved on over into a minion cluster over here with some chaos res and dexterity to ensure attributes are up and we can reach chaos cap comfortably for mapping. And then on the large cluster jewel itself, I've got a Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh for the Void Beacon. The reason why I decided to go this way is because it gives a large damage boost. Let's quickly just jump on into POB over here and I will show you. So before I was using these jewels, I was pumping about, I think it was 7.5 million Uber Boss DPS, and ever since I put in this cluster, well, yeah, it gives about 2 million Uber Boss DPS just by going with Forbidden Flame and Flesh jewels, which is really a good damage upgrade, considering you're only having to sacrifice two jewel sockets, which you couldn't even make up in the damage in terms of using really good ghastly hour jewels. I just do want to note that in case you would like to do so. And then from there on, of course, I'm now using a Awakened Unbound Ailments and Awakened Minion Damage too, for the +1 to level of minion skills and the increased effects of the poisons that our Summon Raging Spirits is busy pumping out. And then I also have a Phantasmal Summon Raging Spirit now. The main reason for this is so that they cannot be damaged for 2 seconds after being summoned. You don't have to go ahead and get the cluster one, whereby it lasts 4 seconds, I think it is. I feel like just having the Phantasmal is more than enough. I now have got a Amethyst ring with really high chaos resistance, just once again to bring up our chaos resistance to a positive amount. And then for the belt is still the same. I'm still running the same jewels with chance to poison, as I still have got the 7 in sleep. Upgrading to a United in Dream, I've done the math. The damage ends up being around about 300,000 less Uber DPS if you were to use a United in Dream. So I'm sticking with the 7 in Sleep. And then moving on to the boots is just chance to suppress, and the same thing with the gloves with minion damage, resistance, and life obviously, and a little bit of dexterity once again for attribute requirements. Need at least 155 for grace and 159 if it were to be level 21. Oh yes, and then obviously when I did put in Grace, we dropped our raised zombies, and then I've also dropped Convocation and put in a Minion Laugh for the raised Spectres and for our Animate Guardian. That's also a Divergent one now for even more Laugh. When I did the Uber Eater fight, I believe he only had 21,000 Laugh, and now he is rocking a whole 42,000 Laugh almost, which is really great. And I hope to expect that this will make Uber fights less strenuous on him not dying. Okay, and then that is it for the entire setup. There isn't anything else that I've pretty much changed, aside from adding in the green Nightmare for 20% chance to suppress spell damage, just to ensure that our spell suppression cap is always at 100%. Moving on now, I have changed my entire Atlas strategy. Well, not the entire strategy. I'm still running Abyss at the moment, but I unspec'd out of Harvest and Essences. I'm now in the region of doing Delirious mapping and that, because it is really fun and I'm able to get a lot more rewards out of it. And then because I'm going to be doing a lot of mapping and going through the maps really quickly, I've picked up all of the extra nodes to gain invitations and the Conqueror maps and so forth. And it also gives me easy access to the Elder fights, well, the Uber fights, sorry, which is really convenient. That way I only have to respec maybe like 3 to 6 points at maximum. And then obviously I've also just thrown in Heist for the time being, just so I can gather contracts and everything. And later down the line I can get the Heist challenge done. And probably after Heisting and Delirium, I might be going into probably some Ritual, or we're going to be running some Blighted maps. As I am planning on doing Poison SrS on Occultist as well. And then I'm also planning to do it on maybe Scion 2, Champion, and obviously we'll do it on a Guardian, because I mean, come on. And then we might try it out on like Pathfinder or something, you know, just to mix things up and give everybody a broader choice of how to play the build, depending on what your type of playstyle is, I guess you can say. Okay, so with my current Atlas strategy and everything out of the way, we're just going to quickly jump on into a 20% Delirious Crimson Temple here. Unfortunately, I don't have any more Delirium orbs than that, so I was not able to make it 60% like I am normally running the maps. I need to go ahead and buy orbs. But as I did mention, the power cuts in my country have been pretty bad and that, so I don't necessarily get a lot of time and that to be able to progress and that stuff, but otherwise everything is all good with the build. Very happy with it still. The fact that we no longer have Convocation though can be a little bit tricky sometimes, as your minions won't be right on top of you, especially your Spectres and that, but it's not much of a issue at all. But yeah, also in terms of doing the League mechanic and going into the Crucible and that stuff, you guys do not have to worry. This build does it way more than comfortably as well. I'm very happy with how it handles all of the content in the game. I'm yet to find something that's pretty much destroys the build that is not Uber content, of course. But I will be finding that out very soon before moving on and trying out Occultist with the build and so forth like that. Yeah, as you can see, clearing out the abyss is very, very straightforward and simple. All of the enemies are literally just falling over, and I'm not even using melee splash at the moment. So let's just pop in melee splash, and then I can show you the real clear on the build should you choose to use melee splash. The only reason why I use multi-strike personally is because you're able to down all of the rares and that stuff like really, really quickly. So your mapping experience is a lot smoother and goes a little bit faster. Of course, I'm not the fastest mapper in the world, and neither is the build, but I'll tell you what, it really is amazing to play, and I look forward to trying it out on the other ascendancies and that stuff too. Really, really, really happy with the build. Can't believe that we got a Scarab one here. Fantastic. But yeah, just getting to the boss. Very, very simple. Just spam SRS on it and boom, it's down. It pretty much works like this with the invitations and that. You just run in circles and everything, and everything just dies really, really easily. Oh yes, and then also one last thing that I would like to note, and that is in terms of the Guardian, you should not get a Kingmaker. Paying 8 Divines for a Kingmaker for just a little bit of extra quality of life with the build is really, really not worth it. Unless you are struggling with Uber bosses and that stuff, then I do understand you getting a Kingmaker. You should then make sure that you use probably a Convocation to ensure that your Guardian doesn't get hit by his hunger and that. Because that's pretty much what happened to mine, and it got shredded. But, you know, I was just careless. Alright, and that is it for this quick update video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you did, drop a like down below. It helps reach more people. And also, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with my latest videos and my live streams that I do right here on YouTube. Alright then, Exiles. I will see you in the next video or live stream. Thanks for watching, boys.